Hey everyone, sorry for not making a video last week. It was the last week of the quarter before winter break, so I was kind of rushing to get a bunch of stuff in and then was really tired, so I slept for basically 4 days. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the differences between Mori, dark Mori, and Strega Fashion. I was told in the comments that I've been pronouncing it wrong, which kind of sucks, but I tend to pronounce things wrong a lot, so I'm going to try to change my language syntax and the way I pronounce things, but please bear with me if I say it Strega instead of Strega. It could also be a little bit of my accent, I don't know. I've been told that I have a little bit of a southern twang, but... So, basically, there's a lot of overlaps between the three fashion styles. The Mori, dark Mori, and Strega. Yeah, I gotta really get used to saying that. So I'm gonna kind of go over some of the guidelines of the fashion, much like most fashion styles have a guideline, even if it's an unspoken one. So today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the guidelines and such that go into each of the three different fashions, because they kind of tend to overlap a little bit. Mori came first, and that was the Japanese fashion, and I'm going to go over that one first. Then it kind of turned in, wow, I can't speak today. Dark Mori kind of came into the scene, and then finally Strega came into the scene. So I'll talk about Mori first. Mori girl fashion originated in Japan, and it came about by an internet persona, Choco, I'm not 100% sure how to say that, and as we all know, I have pronunciation issues. In about 2006, I believe, either 2006 or like 2010, between then, I believe it's 2006, I'm sorry, my memory is terrible. She kind of put out this list of guidelines for Mori girls and kind of defined it and created it, and I find that Japanese fashions tend to have a lot more rules and rigorous guidelines in order to fit into one specific little genre. Like Lolita has a certain look to it, like the cupcake shape, and you have Ganguro, which is the blonde and the white. As you could tell, I'm a connoisseur of that. But this fashion kind of came out, and so I'm gonna go through. I have it all listed on my phone, so I'm gonna kind of go through some of what defines a Mori girl as a Mori girl, and what makes that fashion or that style really so iconic, I guess. Like if you saw someone, you'd be like, ah, I got you. So basically, and I'm reading this from my phone, so I'm sorry for looking down, I just can't, there's like 60 different things that need to be met, I guess. Well, most of them need to be met, most of this criteria needs to be met in order to become a Mori girl successfully. Now, I'm not telling you have to do this if you want to be a Mori girl, this is just what I've found through my research on the internet. I never ever, as per usual, I'm never telling you to dress a certain way or act a certain way, or you have to do this in order to be this. I'm just giving you facts. This is just a simple fact thing. Okay, so these are kind of like the guidelines that Choco gave in order to define really what Mori girl was. And if you guys don't know what that means, or just didn't watch my intro video, Mori means forest in Japanese. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong because I'm an American and can't pronounce that kind of stuff. I've never taken a class on Japanese or tried to learn Japanese. So I'm sure the way I'm saying it just isn't correct. I'm probably saying something very offensive, but it means forest, so the whole idea is to look like a forest, like a girl who lives in the woods, or forest girl. So the number one provisional rule is that they wear loose-fitting one-piece dresses. So this is kind of this reminds me a little bit of Lolita, where you wear dresses only, no pants really, which I don't know. I don't know, I find that a little bit constricting, but I also wear a lot of dresses anyways, so I just, you wear dresses, like that's basically what it is, and you don't really wear as many skirts as you do dresses. It's really one piece, and they all are, so you wear like one piece dress over top of everything, and then like an underskirt, which is an actual skirt. So this is kind of like quirky style. This is just, I'm going to go through the list and explain everything. And it's quirky without being flashy, so it's a little bit toned down from like some of the sweet Lolita stuff that you see with all the hair ornaments and everything. It's really toned down from that, but you still kind of get a unique sense of style, and it's a lot less flashy. It's close to natural K-E-I. Probably not saying that right either, but that's okay. You guys understand what I'm saying. Generally, you have A-line dresses, which is the one that flare out like that, like an A-line. I don't know. Look up A-line dresses if you really want to know. I can't explain it well without pictures and diagrams and stuff. So they don't really like the super sweet fashion styles. It's a lot more toned down, a lot less flashy and in your face, but it is still unique. And I know I said that before, but I'm just trying to reiterate that. So it's a lot of burgundies, along with the white and cream colors that are really prevalent. There's burgundy, dark green, dark blue, brown, but there's also a lot of like warm colors like gold. So if you wear a lot of gold jewelry, if you wear a lot of bronze, I don't look good in gold, just because of my complexion. But if that looks good on you, you might want to consider this. I don't know. It's all up to you again. They generally have short nails instead of the long fake nails or like the long chunky ones. Wow, long chunky nails. That sounds really attractive. No, but like the appliques with all the chains and stuff, that's not really part of Mori. It's like short, natural looking nails. Kind of prefers old vintage things, loves pocket watches, necklaces with like really large motifs and stuff. Animal motifs, lace, tights and leggings are a must. Reading this right from the thing. I will link below also the rules if you want to go through, because I'm not really saying all of them because there's like 60 and that's a little bit crazy. So this is just for more girls. I will link that below. That'll be like the first link, okay? Super. So they like flat round-toed shoes. I don't know, I guess like the traditional, like if you think, I don't know, whenever I think of that I just think of Mary Jane's for whatever reason, like the round toed, like kind of thick but flat shoes. They like to wrap scarves and stoles all the way around your neck, like so you're all like nice and cuddly. Likes fairy tales, has a light complexion. I don't really know, that might be a whole Japanese trope kind of thing, like that might be something that's completely unique to Japanese culture, but I don't really know if that would apply necessarily to Americans, because I don't think that your complexion should have to do with how you dress. I don't know if that's just something completely like cultural that I just don't understand because was not ever raised like that, but that's what it says. I'm not making this up. Again, I will list everything below, but that was one thing I was a little bit about. It's really girly. You have even a certain hairstyle, which is a bob cut with short bangs or short bangs with like long curls. I already kind of negate that because of this. So they collect things. They feel happy when they find cute books at bookstores. If you're going to use any perfumes, it should be a faint flower scent. A girl kind of is, and then it starts to go into how you should act. Like you should be soft and pretty. Again, I don't really know how I feel about telling people how to act because this is a fashion thing, but again, that could be something else cultural. I don't really know, but check it out. Make your own decisions. Make good decisions. I'm just giving you the facts. Alright, so now on to dark Mori. Alright, so now that I have defined, I'm fixing my skirt. Now that I have defined Mori girl for you, I'm going to start defining dark Mori for you. Now this isn't really an official thing, Japanese thing. It has really not too many ties other than the name. Sorry, I just got a text. It really doesn't have too many ties other than the name and the fact that, well, what I mean by it doesn't have too many ties is that Chaco or Choco didn't really like officially say, hey, this is also a thing, so here's some rules. Someone on Tumblr was like, hey, I want to invert this. Mori, like, I really like it, but I don't dress like that, so I'm going to invert it and add a little bit more goth, a little bit more bohemian kind of stuff. And that's what this is. So, they just kind of, which is really cool. It's just, I don't have, that sounded a little bit like, this is just what someone did. I have absolutely no problem with that. I think it's really awesome. But, it's not really like an official thing. However, they did, much like Choco or Chaco did, create kind of guidelines, just so people had a jumping off point. I use that term a lot, I'm really sorry. So I'm gonna do kind of like what I did with Mori Girl, and I'm just gonna go over just some of the general guidelines and just give you a summary so we aren't here for 10 hours, because that would suck. So basically, a dark Mori girl, instead of wanting to look like just a odd, innocent, free-loving forest girl, they kind of want to look like a witch in the woods, like a dark Mori girl, like you live in the dark, the forbidden black forest or something, I don't know. So they kind of wear more dark, dusty colors. However, you can wear just completely white outfits as well to give a ghostly look. Vintage clothes are definitely super a must, and antique, used, or ragged laces or silks are super coveted. So basically, flowers, leaves, feathers, antlers kind of make pretty headpieces that are really actually pretty popular. So like flower crowns with antlers are pretty out there, are pretty well known out there. Natural stones, bones, taxidermy, and silver jewelry is best. Can you tell why I liked this? Stones, love quartz and everything about quartz. Bones, I collect bones. Taxidermy, hello, taxidermy. And silver jewelry is what I wear all the time. So I kind of was already, like, at that point I was like, yes, let's do this. So they have like leather accessories like belts or pouches. Corsets are really in with this fashion, which I like because I love corsets. I think they're awesome. Very medieval, Victorian, folklore, basically anything, if you could make it work, kind of, and make it look a little bit spooky, and I use that term very loosely, that kind of falls into this category. So it's a lot more freedom than you get with some other, than what you get with Mori, because that was very, like, traditional. You have to have an A-line dress. Like, this is pretty, I don't know, like, I don't know, you can just like mesh stuff together and make it work. You have floral patterns and animal prints. You could have Lolita and steampunk, which I really like, inspiration. I also really dig post-apocalyptic stuff. Like, that's kind of me at the moment. I'm just all about the whole post-apocalyptic fashion trend. I don't know, it's not even really going on right now. Like, that was around, that was like when the Hunger Games came out, was really when it started hitting markets, but I just kind of always liked it. So another thing would be crushed velvet, and prefers dresses or skirts, whereas Mori kind of went for A-line. These could be as long as possible and layered as much as possible. Laced up boots, pointy boots, like the granny boot kind of things. They believes in fairies and spirits. You obviously don't have to. But might prefer dark music scenes, like from traditional goth to ambient to even black metal. Likes tea, folklore, fairy tales, legends, and myths from the north are the favorites, but might like oriental cultures as well. Again, I don't really see like where liking certain things comes into the whole fashion style, but that's me. I guess like you have to have a certain personality to want to even dress that way, but I don't think you have to do certain things in your life in order to dress a certain way. I don't know. So they like to collect bottles and jars, like to take walks in the forest at dusk, evening, or night, and basically antiquing and thrifting and just being kind of a collector of oddities is generally I don't know, it's an all-around love or just something that they enjoy doing. So that's basically it. I'm going to link you to the post where I found all of this information. Feel free to continue to search on. Again, this is just, I'm providing a jumping off point because I know this isn't it's not necessarily unknown, but it's not as well known as perhaps other, like Lolita, there's a huge following. This is gaining a little bit of speed, definitely, or has been gaining for a while, but it's not really like, if you say Strega to someone, or Dark Mori, they're gonna be like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, so that's basically this. So I did Mori, now I'm doing Dark Mori, and now I'm going to move on to Strega, and I'm going to give you a little bit of information about what the difference is. Okay, so Strega Fashion. This kind of came about because, as I said in my intro video, which if you haven't watched, by the way, you should probably do that because I talk a lot about this. It's in the little playlist that this should be in, so check that out. Strega kind of came around because people were branching off even more from the whole Dark Mori guidelines and kind of attempting to squeeze things in, and people were getting mad. They're like, oh, that's not Dark Mori, that doesn't even fall into the same kind of things, that's more fairy tale, that's more fairy K, I don't really know how to say that word, K-E-I, whatever. And people were just kind of getting mad about that, and there was this huge thing, and blah blah blah. Everyone was just like, okay, fine, whatever. So someone, Shortcut to the Stars, the Tumblr user, decided to come up with the Strega Fashion manifest. Now, there was a huge blow up about whether or not using the word Strega was cultural appropriation, but no one, I mean, I think it came down to that it wasn't used enough anymore. The word Strega wasn't really used enough anymore in a derogatory manner, so people were okay. I don't really know. That was just a whole thing, and everyone blew up. And it was kind of pointless because people were just being like, there was a lot of social justice stuff going on, which is cool, but I thought it was kind of ridiculous. Just some of the claims people were using. So basically, she started Strega Fashion, and it has a lot shorter of a manifest. There's a couple things, so I'm going to go through each of them because there's only like between 7 and 10. So the number one thing is that Strega means witch, and that is the theme and therefore the center of the fashion. So basically, it's all-inclusive. Anything that you deem to be something that is witch-related, anything that you feel is witchy or related in whatever way to witchcraft, and that's how you decide to dress and express yourself, that's what Strega Fashion is. That's what it encompasses. Basically, other than that, literally the second thing says there are no other rules. There is no established color scheme. There are a lot of people who just wear all black because black is a power color for a lot of witches, for protection, for other things, but black is generally seen as that. So there's no established color scheme. Inspiration is taken from fairy tales, folklore, and myths, and all things magical and witchy. So that could be Ouija boards, that could be crystal balls, that could be crystals in general, that could be rocks, stones, bones, anything that you use in your craft that you feel is important to you and you incorporate with your general fashion style on a daily basis and want to tag as Strega, go for it. Basically, that's what that's saying. Inspiration is drawn from goth, boho, Mori, and whatever else you prefer. So it could be anything. It could be new goth, it could be pastel goth, because there really is, no color scheme. It is different from goth as it has no inherent ties to the goth subculture or music, and it also is different from Mori as it doesn't have any ties to Japan or the Japanese street fashion. So basically Strega, like Dark Mori and Mori are here, Strega is here. Like, just completely, it still draws inspiration between the two, and you can totally go between the two. You can dress Mori one day and dress Strega another. That's not what anyone is trying to say. Like, if you dress Strega, you can only dress Strega. You can definitely go between them. Like, that's not a problem. But because people were getting offended for whatever, like, I guess cultural appropriation, people were screaming cultural appropriation for Japanese street fashions, because a lot of us Westerners were kind of like, hey, this is cool, let me try this, and people were like, oh my god. It was just, I think it was a well-needed break, especially because a lot of people were taking it really far away from what the original intent was supposed to be. And the final rule is that no one, or well, guideline really, or the manifest, is that no one can demand to know what Strega is or exclude anyone from the fashion or tag. It's basically, Strega is the witch inside us coming out through our clothing. So, essentially anything that you want to wear is cool and like people are down. So, that's what that is. Alright. This has been an entirely too long video, and thank you for sticking with me. If you just kind of skip through and are like waiting to finish watching this at the end, thank you. I will be posting a little bit about the different types. There have been, well, there's like a couple other types of Strega that people have kind of invented, and I'm going to kind of just do a really short video on that, but I feel like it'd be too long to include it in here. So if you would like to watch that, go to the next video. If you're done, if you're just good, bye. I hope everyone has a really great day, and I will see you later.